Hello guys, and welcome to my channel. Let us continue to the part 2 of the work center. So in the previous video, which was the work center part first, we discussed the work center and the types of work center and its uses. So in the first part, we basically understand theoretically what is work center, what is the purpose of work center, how many types of work center, and why we should use a work center in SAP Plant Maintenance. All right. So I will continue from there. This is a part 2 video for the work center, and we will see here certain things like configurations and then the screens of the work center under the SAP system. So first of all, let's see here master data in SAP PM. So the work center. So work center is the first master data, I would say, that has to be configured and created in the system, because the same work center needs to be assigned to the function, location, equipment, task list. Okay, and then it will get copied to the maintenance plans that we will see further on. But at this moment, let us only understand that work center is an important master data because it has to be assigned to the function, location, and equipment, which is our technical object. Okay, so let us start from the work center again. So just a quick recap, that work center are of three types. Main work center, which is kind of a responsible work center for taking care of the technical objects. Then performing work center. Performing work center is responsible for execution of the maintenance activity on that particular technical object. And then production work center. So production work center is a work center which tells us about the availability of the equipment, whether it is under production or not, so that we can perform our maintenance activities. So let us jump to the SAP screen and let us see what we can learn today. So this is the work center screen. Okay, so I can show you one more thing. So the T code for creating work center is IR01. Okay. So don't bother about the T code. I will share the T codes. So do not bother about the T code. Okay. But anyhow, I am just mentioning here to create work center. Then change work center. And then display work center. All right. So these are the three T codes. IR01 is to create work center, IR02 is to change work center, and IR03 is to display the work center. So if you will see my screen right now, display work center, so I am into this IR03 transaction code. Okay, but I can show you IR01 as well. So IR01 create work center. Okay, so this is the initial screen where we have to put the plant and the work center name over here. Okay, and then this is pretty important, what kind of work center that you want to create, as we discussed in the previous video. Okay, so what I will do, I will also put a description, link of the part first video in the description of this part 2 video, so that you can just navigate to that video. Okay, in case you need any reference. So work center category is pretty much important over here if you are creating a work center. So for plant maintenance, standard is 0005. Okay, and then this is copy from. So if there is any existing work center from which you wanted to copy 90% of your data and then 10% modify for the new work center, then you can just use copy. And then IR02 is the change work center. Okay, and IR03 is the display work center. Okay, so I have used /n IR03, so don't get confused over here. The transaction code is itself IR03 only. /n I am putting before IR03 because I need to, suppose I need to, this is my IR03 screen, so I need to directly jump to IR02 screen, which is nothing but a change work center. So slash n I have to give so that SAP will exit this present screen and will call a new transaction code, that is IR02. Okay, so like this. So if I, what happen if I will not give slash n? So if I am putting like IR03, look here, nothing will happen. Okay, so you will get an error, requester function is not available. So that's why we are using slash n, so don't get confused over here. All right, so from the configuration point of view, so guys, you must know the importance of the configuration. So to become a functional consultant in any of the module, okay, so right now we are discussing plant maintenance. So to become a functional consultant in SAP plant maintenance, you must learn the configuration part, because that should be your hands-on. Okay, if you do not know the configuration, you cannot provide a solution to a business. You should know the configuration, because configuration tells you what kind of business processes you can map out of the box. Okay. So on the first screen of this display work center, you can see there are certain tabs like basic data, default values, capacities, scheduling, costing, and groups. Okay, so don't bother about groups. We will not be discussing groups because it is not used in plant maintenance. Okay, so starting from the basic data, so these all are known as tabs, and then you can see there is a sub screen. So general data is one sub screen over here, and then standard value maintenance is one sub screen over here. Okay, so this part here, let me put a highlighter. Okay, so this part from here to here. Okay, so this is your first sub screen, which is the general data sub screen, and then this is your second sub screen. Okay, which is your standard value maintenance sub screen, and this is your push button. This is known as a push button. Okay, in SAP, description, admin data, classification, and subsystems. Okay, so starting from the basic data, so what I will do here now, I will open the configuration screen of the SAP system. Okay, so T code to navigate to the configuration is SPRO, and click on SAP reference IMG. Now on this screen you can see there are a lot of things, so let us make it easy. Okay, so plant maintenance and customer service. Okay, so these are all modules here. As you can see, materials management, which is MM module, sales and distribution, SD module. Okay, then plant maintenance is our plant maintenance module. Okay, and customer service, so plant maintenance, customer service is almost same, only difference is that customer service is mostly integrated with SD, sales and distribution. Okay, but config for customer service orders can be same. Then project system. Okay, so these production PP. Okay, so these are all modules. Okay, so don't get confused. Now under this one, if I will drill down, you can see they are, now it is getting drilled down with other parts, other components or objects for the plant maintenance. Warranty claim management, master data, maintenance plans, maintenance and service processing. Okay, so master data, work center is what? A master data. So let us drill down this master data node. Now under the basic settings, let us see what is under basic settings. Okay, so under the basic settings you can see these are the configuration nodes which are available. So if you do not know what is the use of any of these configuration nodes, SAP has provided a document. You can just click over this document and it will tell you what is the purpose of this configuration node. Okay, so let us go to technical objects. Okay, so here we can see general data, then function locations and equipments, which are our technical objects, and then this is bill of material, this is material. So kind of this you can just drill down and check. So work center, maintenance plans, work center, task list and PI. So work centers are under this configuration node. Okay, not under master data, because this is mainly for the technical objects. So now you can see basic settings, maintenance plan, work centers, as we are talking about work centers over here. So let us only focus on work center. So just drill down this work center, and then we do have two nodes, general data and the task list data. Okay, so let us drill down this one. Now here define work center types and link to task list application. So let us explore this one and see what exactly it is. Okay, so let me execute this one. So this is a radio button, you have to click on that to execute. So it brings up this screen. Okay, so as I said, the standard work center category is 0005. Now what is the importance of this 0005? It is not like that we are only typing 0005. No, there is a logic why I am telling you that we need 0005. Okay, so let us select this one. So this is your category and this is description. So this description is basically a free text field, you can type anything. Okay, and then field selection, screen sequence. Okay, then change doc status, profile, color. Okay, so there are a lot of things, but we need to just understand what are the important fields that we should know. Okay, and later on it is up to you if you want to explore more and more. So there are a lot of things you can explore, okay, for your knowledge. So field selection, so this is not a free text field. If you can see here, I cannot type anything over here, because if I am clicking over here, it is giving me an option, okay, to select. Like 0001 is what? Your machine. Okay, and then screen sequence is 0005. So what is this? 0005 is plant maintenance only. Alright, so let us select this one and go to application and see what it is. So it is linking with maintenance task list and repetitive manufacturing. So ignore this one, because this is for production planning, not for plant maintenance. For plant maintenance, we do have this one. So now why it is important to link this application? Because we have to use this work center in task list, okay, further on. So that's why it is very important to use this linkage of work center category 0005 to task list, so that you can utilize all those work centers which are created under this category and assign under the task list. All right. And anytime if you do not know, you can just go through this document. Okay, this is known as a customizing document, so you can always take the reference from there. All right. So this is pretty standard, we always use 0005. So what we can do, suppose in your project there's a requirement that I do not want you to use 0005, something else. Okay, so what you can do, you just select here, this is the best practice SAP recommends. Okay, don't disturb the settings of the standard delivered by SAP. Okay, because what will happen if something goes wrong, you can't take the reference then, because you have modified the standard data of SAP. So do not do that. So the best practice is to select this one and click on copy. Okay, so now here you can like Z PMW. Okay, Z means, basically why we are using Z over here is to represent that this is something which has been customized by ourselves, okay, and not delivered by SAP. So we use Z or Y. Okay, so kind of this you can make. So it will ask you copy all, yes, and it will get created. Okay, so kind of this, I'm not saving right now. Okay, so kind of this you can create. So now you got it. how the category is coming. Okay, so from here only it is coming. Now define field selection. Okay, so where is the category? So this is the category. Okay, so now what is the second thing? Person responsible. Person responsible means who will be the person responsible, supervisor or technician. So from here, if you will see, define employee groups responsible for work centers. Okay, so go here. So what is the value here? 001. So 001 here. Okay, so this is on the plant and responsible person combination. So work center supervisor. So you can define yours, because this is a free text field, so you can put anything else. I mean, whatever is required, you can put that text over here. Okay, so these are all easy configurations, I would say. Okay, so now uses. So uses only maintenance task list. Okay, in what does that mean is that if I am assigning 004 to this work center, it means this work center can be only used in maintenance task list, not in the routings, which is generally a task list in production planning module. Okay, so if you will go here, task list data. Okay, may define task list uses keys. Okay, you can see here one only maintenance task list. Okay, so now under this task list there are three types of task lists: general task list, equipment task list, and functional location task list. So 004, if something has if 004 has been assigned to any of the work center, it can be used to only, it can be used with only these three task list types. Okay, general task list, equipment, and function location. All right, moving on. So standard value queue. So this is something which I think it should be better if we can discuss it later on, because right now you guys will get confused. Okay, so default values, control key, also we will discuss this part once we will jump to the creation of the work orders. Okay, right now it is not relevant. Okay, but basically PM01 is a control key, which means I do have a maintenance activity. Okay, so if my internal labors are performing those activities, it means I will be using control key PM01. Okay, so basically work center is something which is internal, so every time we put PM01, which is standard. Okay, and for more details, as I said, we will discuss once we will see the orders. Okay, or you can put a comment if you wanted to have a separate video only on the control keys. Then moving on to the capacities. So capacity is the main data over here, because as per the capacity, your overall scheduling part and resource overloading part will be determined from here only. Okay, so it is pretty important to understand the capacity. So under the capacity, you can see capacity category is labor. So if I will click on the options, what are the other options available? Machine, labor, processing unit, and we do have labor, because it is plant maintenance work center, not the production planning. Okay, so that's why it should be always labor. All right, and now other formula. Okay, SAP 008. So this formula basically helps SAP to calculate the capacity while determining the load on the work center. Okay, so this other formula also we will discuss later on. We will see in detail what is the usage of this other formula, but at this moment just note down that this SAP 008 is the standard formula that has to be assigned under the capacity tab to the other formula field. Okay, just have a note. Now moving on to this capacity header push button. This is very important here. So if I am clicking over here, I can see general data, capacity responsible. Who is responsible for this capacity? Okay, so there are a lot of options available. You can create your own and you can select it. Okay. Okay, let me show you. That's fine. Okay, let us go from here. So if you don't, if you are having any confusion in finding the exact path, so you can go like this, just pull down the selection option and click on create and just click on continue without specifying project. Okay, so like this, because right now I am not able to remember where it is correct exactly. So you can see here it is giving you a lot of options. Okay, so basically it is under the this configuration is not under the plant maintenance, it is under the production planning configuration. Okay, as I said, it is integrated, so you can see here you can create your capacity planner, you can see. Okay, so as I said, plant maintenance and production planning are having few of common objects, so that's why configuration is here. Okay, so likewise you can configure this capacity planner. Okay, but this is standard and we do use this standard mostly. Okay, so the important field here is the capacity base unit, okay, which should be hours, because if a labor is working, how we gonna calculate the work in terms of hours only, right? And then we have to put the start time, at what time he is starting and at what time he is ending, and if there is any length of breaks, then what is the length of break that he is having. Okay, company is providing how much lunch time it is, so kind of that data we have to put over here, and based on that we have to also put capacity utilization. In my previous video I mentioned this one, that it is not possible to utilize a person 100%, so definitely the productivity of that person can be between 60 to 80%. all right, so here it is 60%, and then how many number of individual capacities, so how many persons are working under this work center? Total 3. So for one individual person the total operating time is 5 hours 40 minutes, so the total capacity will be multiplied by 3, which would be 16 hours and 20 minutes. Okay, and these are the things which we should discuss when we will see the capacity planning. Okay, so this is very, very important. And if you are having any shifts like morning shift, day shift and night shift, then SAP has provided a functionality where you can go to the interval and shifts, and here you can define your shift. Okay, like insert shift, so you can do this thing. Okay, now moving to scheduling part here. So under the scheduling part, the same capacity category will be 002, which is labor only, and then again the formula SAP 004 should be here. Okay, so what it does, it tells is that it is allowed for scheduling. This is the important part. Costing is allowed and allowed scheduling. It means this work center is allowed for scheduling and costing as well. Okay, so just have a note of this formula as well, and we're gonna discuss this 008 and 004 formula together once we will discuss this topic. Okay, so until now just have a note and just note down that it is a standard formula that is being used in SAP. Okay, So I will stop here because this is a big topic, not a small one, because it is also integrated with the finance, because we have to discuss costing part as well. So I will stop here, and there are a lot of configurations, other configurations as well, which I wanted to show. So what I will do, that I will not